everyone. I hope you're doing well today. I'm Lady Starfire, and today I want to bring you information about ancestor altars and paying honor to our ancestors. Now, you may find people that'll tell you that things have to be done a certain way, and they just really don't. It is up to you and your ancestors as to what you do. There's no real right or wrong as long as you are honoring them and honoring them in a way that they would like and giving them the things that they like. So you'll see I have an array of things. Now, doesn't mean you have to have all of these. I brought things to give you options. So flowers, okay, flowers are always nice to have, especially if you're honoring a female ancestor. All women usually like flowers. Now, if your ancestor that you're trying to honor, for a fact hated flowers, don't put them on there. It's real simple, okay? We have a glass, a chalice, whatever to hold whatever their favorite drink is, okay, or was. You can even have a little shot glass type style. It doesn't mean it has to be alcohol. Maybe it was coffee. Maybe you want to use a coffee cup if that was it. It could be iced tea, wine, whatever their drink of choice is what you want to put out. If you don't know, put out water. Sometimes just that quenching that thirst can be a very good thing. Or water or whatever you think they drank at that time also, okay? You can have several glasses out. Maybe you've got several ancestors. There's no problem with it. Take up as much space as you want. Cover your whole dinner table if you want. It doesn't matter as long as you are honoring them, okay? So, we also have plates and different things. Now this, you can burn incense. You can have different candles. And the incense is whatever you want it to be. It can be rose scented, whatever it is, okay? So we can use different types of candles, okay? So these are like little votives. We've got this size candle, jar candle. A lot of it's going to depend on how long you're planning on leaving the altar set up. Are you having an altar that's there all the time for your ancestors? If so, you might want to just burn one of these because that way it's going to burn for a week at a time. If you're doing something special, maybe it's a birthday, an anniversary, Salem, whatever, then you may and may not. You may want to use just something that's going to burn throughout the night. All right. So, and this is a little kit that we make here that has your little glass in it. It has incense. It has herbs. It has your candle. It has a little white dolly like you see here under my plate. And it comes with a white plate. Okay. So, it's enough to get you started, and it has instructions for those that don't know. All right. And this isn't a picture of somebody, but it's one of those wonderful footprint sayings. But if you have pictures of those ancestors, put those on your altar as well, because that way you're identifying with who it is that you're connecting with or honoring. So, this is a great way to connect with those ancestors, to commune with them, to speak with them. Now, something else that you're going to want to do, find a place to get this out of the way for now, is food, okay? We want to put out a plate of food. And you notice all of my plates are white. As a general rule, when you're dealing with ancestors, everything is white, okay? So put whatever food either that you have, whatever you're having for supper, give some to them, especially if you have an altar set up all the time. Then whatever you eat for supper, give them some. Now, if you're doing something special and you're trying to specifically honor them or specifically call on them for advice or something like that, or when it's Salem, put out food that they would have enjoyed eating. What was their favorite food? And if you don't know, because it's an ancestor that's far enough back that, you never knew, and there's nobody around that can tell you what their favorite food was, look at the time period. Where did they live? What types of food did people eat at that time period in that place? If they were poor, then it may have been a lot of beans and things that they grew, vegetables and such. Um, if they raised hogs or cows or whatever, then they would have had some pork and some beef and things like that, or chicken. So just try to figure out what they probably ate if you don't have a way of knowing, and fix that meal and put that on here. It doesn't mean you have to eat it. Maybe you're vegetarian or vegan or something. But if they ate meat and you're doing something to honor them, then you're going to need to prepare something for them. If you just can't bring yourself to prepare it because it's against whatever, go buy it. Go to a chicken place and buy some fried chicken or baked chicken or whatever it is that you're trying to feed for them. It's okay if you can't make it yourself. I mean, there are certain things that there is absolutely no way that I would bring to my house and cook. I just can't stomach it. You're not going to do it. No, and no, I'm not talking about meat in general. It's some other stuff. And if my ancestors ate it, they're not going to get it from me, even if somebody else cooked it. I'm sorry. There are just certain things that go beyond. I'll substitute something else that I think that they would like, and they're not going to be upset about it. If your ancestors truly love you, they're going to understand. And if you say, this is all I can afford, this is all I've got, this is what I'm eating every night, they're not going to go, oh, well, nope, don't want anything to do with you then. Because guess what? They probably didn't have anything any better either. And they are understanding of these things. So don't let anybody tell you that just because you can't afford to, put steak out on a plate, for the ancestors, that they're not going to have anything to do with you. That's wrong. If you can't afford it, don't worry about it. It's okay. The main thing is, it's kind of like what I taught you about magic and cheapening your magic. Now, if you're eating steak and you give them beans and, Spam, yeah, they're probably not going to be real happy about that, because if you can afford to eat it, you can afford to give them some. Okay. So it's kind of like working with the Loa and Orishas. They're very understanding. Now once in a while, yeah, there's certain things they want, especially if you're asking them to do things for you. But as a general rule, whatever you're eating, give them some. Show them that you love them and appreciate them and that you're honoring them. That is the most important thing you can do. Maybe your ancestor loved chocolate. Put chocolate out there, not as a meal, but hey, a little dessert, it goes a long ways too. We like sweet things. They probably do too. And there's never anything wrong with helping to sweeten their disposition a little bit. So, just find out what they like. And even if you don't smoke, if they did, get a cigarette from somebody or a cigar, or go buy you a cigar, and put it out on the altar. Put out whatever it is that they like. But as far as day-to-day meals, whatever you're eating, put a little bit out. Now, once it's at a point that, you can't leave it out anymore, don't just throw it in the trash. Take it outside. Have you a spot out there that, I call it an offering tree or a bush, and put it out there. They can continue to get the energy from that food. It will also feed animals, insects. It will decay and degrade and go and fertilize the earth. So, nothing goes to waste. But don't think you've got to leave it out for a week. Now, if it still looks fresh after 3 days, like you just put it out, they're still enjoying it, and leave it right there. Now, if you've got animals that might get a hold of it, you need to do something different. Or when you've got food out, you need to make sure the animals aren't near, or move your altar somewhere else. There's a lot of things that you have to take in consideration, including small children. You don't want them coming out, grabbing the food off and whatever. So think about all these things when you're putting together your altar. Same thing. You got whiskey in this little shot glass. You don't want your 2-3-year-old child coming by and grabbing it and downing it or something. Okay. So think about what you're putting out and where your altar placement is and what you have in your house as far as children, animals, and such. Like I said, when you're actively doing something, yeah, if you want to burn some incense, it's tone, whatever it is. I grab some love incense because to me, if I'm doing something on the altar, then it's about love. But whatever you want to burn, whatever you think they would enjoy, the smoke helps with connecting to the other side, when it's on your ancestor altar. So, like I said, there's all sorts of things you can do. If all you have is a plate and a picture and, a little tea light, a little votive white candle, a coffee mug with, some liquid in it, that's fine. Do what feels right based on what you have. You don't have to go out and buy an expensive piece of white china or an expensive chalice or whatever. You don't have to run out and do all that stuff. If you happen to come across something, maybe you're at a garage sale and you go, oh, wow, that would just be awesome. My great-great-grandmother would love that plate. So buy it. It's not expensive. You can afford it, buy it and put it on that altar. So just think about things and figure out what works for you and what your ancestors would like. It's all about honoring them. And you don't have to keep an altar up all the time. You can if you want to and have the space to do it. I love having an altar up, for my ancestors so that I constantly honor them. It's the same thing as having, pictures on your wall. I've got pictures of my son and my mother and my grandmother and me all in a 4-generation picture hanging on my wall. I'm the only one left out of those 4 people. But every time I see it, I think of them and I think of the love that I have for them and they had for me. And I tell them I love them and I honor them, and that's a way of honoring as well. But if you're wanting to do something specific and you want to commune with them and you want to maybe gain knowledge from them, then you need to set up an actual altar. Put your white candles out, put out something for them to drink and food to nourish their spirit. Because it gives that spirit energy and it aids in them being able to come to you and help you. Okay. So everything goes through that veil. We have a veil here and we're breaking through that veil for them to be able to come to us. Okay. I hope this helps clear up some things. I know I've had several people asking about ancestor altars. I've seen some not quite good information, truthful information out there. So I wanted to try to clear some of this up for you. Love your ancestors, honor them. And ancestor means anybody that has passed. Okay, they are your ancestor, whether it was last week or 20 years ago. They're still your ancestors, or even if it was 100 years ago, they are all your ancestors. Okay, so and they can all help you. So I hope this helps you once again. And if you have any other questions, feel free to put them in the comments. I love getting your comments. And I answer them as quickly as I possibly can. If I don't know the information for some reason, I will find it, or I will tell you I don't know and try to direct you in the right place. Okay. So if you would, click the subscribe if you haven't. Share this video with somebody you think might could use the information. I really appreciate it when y'all do that. And because I like helping people and I don't necessarily reach everyone. So your help in that helps me to help more people. Leave me comments and everyone have a wonderful, blessed day. Thank you for watching my video all the way through. It really does mean the world to me when y'all do this. So until the next time, love your ancestors, love yourself, love each other, and I love you all. Blessed be.